This is the NOMVDIC P1000, a 4K UHD high-resolution projector with HDR10 and HLG support, super vivid images at 2300 ANSI lumens, and that is seriously bright, brighter than anything I've ever reviewed on this channel. The contrast ratio is also very high because of the powerful 0.65-inch TWDMD chip, and all of these things combined deliver one of the crispiest and richest images I've ever seen on what is essentially a home projector. But this one has a very special trick up its sleeve. Let's ramble.
Hold up, place go wild when I pull up. They all on me like it wants them.
Hey, what's up guys? It's great to see you all again, and if you're new here, I'm Patrick and this is where I ramble about tech and other stuff. Let's just skip the intro. It's a projector, you've all seen one before. We want to know what makes this one special, so let's get right to the meat and potatoes. The unboxing is straightforward, the packaging looks and feels very minimal, and that is just the way I like it. The design language reminds me a little bit of early Johnny Ive back in the Apple days, you know? It comes with a power cable, a USB-C cable, some documentation, and of course the remote. What you will not see on this remote is your typical dedicated buttons to streaming apps, and I will show you why that is later on in the video. But what you will see is that these keys are backlit, and that is cool. Unlike a lot of projectors these days, this thing is not some bulky eyesore. In fact, it is quite small and the design is sleek and clean. Harman Kardon speakers, which is something I personally love to see, very minimal manual controls, just one tactile on and off button and some touch controls. Even the I/O looks clean, yet offers all we need, but we'll get to that later. Also very useful is the 1/4 inch thread in the bottom of the unit, so you can actually place the P1000 on a tripod or use a little mini tripod like mine here, which can really come in handy when setting up the projector and trying to find the ideal angle. Alright, I think we can all agree that it looks pretty, but let's put it to work and let's see what it can actually do in terms of performance. Now, for some recent projector reviews here on the channel, I set up a little viewing area in the studio kitchen, and I was just in the process of taking it all down and moving this setup to our home when NOMVDIC reached out to me to review the P1000, so I'm glad I still had most of it up. A little wipe and we're ready for testing. When I first started testing the NOMVDIC, I expected it to project roughly the same way every other higher end projector I've tested, so I placed it on the shelf I put up in my little viewing area, expecting it to fire the image from against the wall behind me to my projector screen. But I quickly realized that this is not how it's intended to be used because A, the image is fired upwards, and B, the image it projects from the distance I'm used to would be massive. I mean, this thing can project an image of up to 150 inches, and my projector screen certainly wasn't ready to cope with what was thrown at it from that distance. But when I placed it on the table, right in front of the projector screen, the image came out beautifully. And this shorter throw setup starts to really make sense when we take a closer look at the design of this thing, because it is actually made to be extremely portable because of its compact size and its modest weight of only 6.8 pounds. So moving from one room to another is easy, and this must be one of the most elegant ways I've seen a top handle integrated into a system like this. If you just glance at the ultra clean design of this thing, you wouldn't even know it has a handle. But just 2 fingers are enough to lift the handle out of the body so you can carry the whole package with you. The setup process is super straightforward, but at the same time offers enough customization to get this thing set up exactly right for any space you place it in. You've got your app center, your settings menu, there's a screen mirroring tab which lets you set up things like iPhone screen mirroring, a Bluetooth menu for connecting accessories like headphones or Bluetooth buds, and a tab to add apps. One of the things that instantly stood out to me are autofocus and auto keystone correction. Most projectors I've tested have this in some form, but I've never seen one adjust itself this quickly and still be this accurate. And at the off chance it still requires a bit of tweaking, it also offers manual 4-corner adjustment to get that image just right for your space. Now, the App Center might appear a little empty, and that's because it is. Unlike most consumer projectors on the market today that have some form of Android TV with apps like Netflix, Disney Plus, and Hulu built in, the NOMVDIC P1000 focuses 100% on performance and leaves the app magic to the specialists by making it super easy to hook up a third-party system like an Apple TV or an Amazon Fire Stick, for example. By providing a pretty clever selection of I/O on the side of the unit, NOMVDIC made sure that this is completely frictionless. There's even a dedicated USB-A port to host an Amazon Fire Stick. Being an Apple guy, the Apple TV 4K will be my weapon of choice, and if I'm being honest, I prefer this setup over a built-in Android TV system because let's face it, most of the time they feel buggy and annoying, and this way I can just use the system I like and that I'm used to. And as you can see, it works great and looks fantastic. And here the vivid images and the fact that it offers 125% of Rec 709 really becomes apparent. Now, because we do have all this I/O on the side, there's nothing stopping us from hooking up whatever we want, like my 14-inch MacBook Pro for instance. And that got me thinking that this projector would make a killer device to take with you on client visits or classroom presentations, for instance. Because of the 2300 Ansign lumens, it will project a clear and crispy image even in a well-lit classroom or an office environment. And of course, it will look even better once you dim the lights. And because the image is so crisp, I can see myself working like this for several hours. Now, while those are all great use cases, what really sets this projector apart from others in terms of connectivity is gaming, because the P1000 offers ultra low latency. In fact, it currently has the lowest latency in the projector market with only 4.2 milliseconds low latency when playing 1080p at 240 Hz. That's right, I said 240 Hz. You gamers will know what's up. I hooked up my PS5 to give you an idea of how awesome gaming works on this thing, and I gotta tell you that the camera does not do it justice because it looks even better in person. It literally looks and feels as if you were gaming on a massive 4K television, and that alone makes this projector worth it for me. Everything else is just gravy. Also, I just received my Asus ROG Ally, and I can't wait to hook that up to the projector as well, once my adapter comes in. If you're into that kind of stuff, keep an eye on my socials. I'll definitely be posting some results, and while you're at it, a sub to the channel would be awesome. I post videos at least once a week, so plenty of fresh content coming your way. Guys, if you want to grab one of these bad boys for yourself, now is a great time because NOMVDIC is offering a $100 discount when you use the code in the description below the video. Don't sleep on it because the promo ends on the 17th of September. If you enjoyed the video, please get one of these. It really does help the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for some links to videos you might also want to watch.